Sometimes, life creates moments so powerful that they redefine the bond between a human and an animal. This isn't just a story. It's about love, sacrifice, and the silent promise that a dog makes to its owner. Today's story is about a brave police officer and her loyal companion, whose reaction left doctors in complete shock. It was a cold night in the city. The streets were empty, wet with a light drizzle falling from the sky. Police patrol cars roamed through the dark neighborhoods, their flashing lights cutting through the mist. Among them was one courageous female police officer, her uniform neat, her eyes sharp, her heart steady. Sitting beside her, in the passenger seat, was not another officer, but her greatest partner. A German shepherd named Rex. Rex wasn't just a dog. He was her guardian, her shadow, her family. Trained to detect danger, to protect, and to obey. But above all, he carried something far greater. He carried love, the kind of love that no training could ever teach. That night, a call came over the radio. A report of armed men hiding in an abandoned part of the old district. Without hesitation, she turned the steering wheel and drove toward the danger. She had done this many times before. But what she didn't know was that tonight, fate had prepared something extraordinary. The narrow street was silent. Too silent. As her patrol car rolled forward, the windows fogged with mist, shadows moved between the broken buildings. And then it happened. Gunfire. Bullets ripped through the night air, shattering glass, striking the car. The officer instantly ducked, pulling out her weapon, returning fire with precision. But she wasn't invincible. One bullet tore into her shoulder, another grazed her arm. Blood poured quickly, soaking her uniform. Rex barked ferociously, leaping at the window, as if he could attack the invisible enemy himself. His deep growl echoed through the street, a warning that no one could mistake. But inside the car, the officer's breaths grew heavy, uneven. She gripped the radio with trembling fingers, calling for backup. Her voice cracked, faint, fading. By the time paramedics arrived, she was pale, weak, her body drenched in blood. She was rushed to the hospital. But Rex refused to leave her side. His eyes burned with fear. His body shook with desperation. Every step the stretcher took, he followed. When doctors tried to hold him back, he fought, snapping, growling, not out of aggression, but out of terror. His partner, was slipping away. Inside the emergency room, doctors surrounded the wounded officer. But what shocked them most wasn't just her condition. It was Rex. He would not let anyone near her. Every time a doctor tried to touch her wound, Rex barked, his body tense, his teeth bared. And yet, when he looked at her, something completely different happened. His eyes softened, his body trembled. He pressed his head gently against her hand, whining, crying, begging her not to go. The doctors considered removing him from the room. But then, something unexpected happened. Half conscious, drifting between life and death, the officer whispered in a broken voice, "Don't take him away. Let him stay. I can't fight without him." Everyone froze. Her voice was so weak, so fragile, but the words were clear. She needed Rex, not just as a dog, not just as a companion, but as her lifeline. With hesitation, the doctors allowed Rex to stay. What happened next stunned them all. Rex climbed closer, carefully placing his head on her chest. He licked her hand, slowly, gently. His eyes overflowed with tears, real tears. And for a moment, the heart monitor, her fragile heartbeat, grew steadier. Doctors exchanged looks. Nurses held their breath. Could it be that the presence of this dog was keeping her alive? Rex refused to move. He stayed pressed against her, as though trying to transfer his own strength into her broken body. His breathing slowed, matching hers. His chest rose and fell with her weak breaths. It was as if he was willing her heart to keep beating. And in that silent, tense ICU room, every single person realized they were witnessing something far greater than medicine. This was not just loyalty. This was love in its purest form. The ICU was heavy with silence, broken only by the steady beeping of machines and the faint whispers of doctors. Outside, the rain hadn't stopped. It fell harder now, hammering against the windows, almost in rhythm with the officer's fragile heartbeat. And there was Rex, still pressed against his owner, still refusing to move. His breathing was slow, his eyes fixed on her pale face. Every time her chest rose, his tail flickered weakly. Every time it fell, his whine grew louder, as if he was afraid she wouldn't take another breath. Doctors exchanged troubled looks. They had seen family members cry. They had seen children scream for their parents. But they had never seen this. A dog, so loyal, so desperate, clinging to life alongside a human being. Hours passed. Blood was being transfused into her body. Her uniform lay in tatters beside the bed, stained crimson. Yet the doctors noticed something. Whenever Rex touched her hand, her vitals stabilized, just enough to buy her more time. Whenever Rex was pulled slightly away to give doctors space, her vitals dropped again. Whispers spread through the hospital. Nurses peeked through the ICU glass window, their eyes wide, their hearts trembling. Patients in the ward whispered too. Have you seen it? The dog who cries for his master. The dog who won't let her go. Rex became a symbol of hope. But for him, there was no symbolism. Only one truth mattered. His human could not die. Not tonight. Not while he had strength in his body to keep her alive. At one point, the officer's hand slipped off the bed. It dangled weakly, lifeless. Rex immediately caught it with his snout, pushing it gently back onto the bed, licking it desperately, as though reminding her, "I'm here. Don't leave me." A tear rolled from his eye, falling onto her hand. One of the doctors, hardened by years of saving lives, wiped his face quickly, but his eyes were wet. Suddenly, alarms rang. The monitor spiked. Her heart rate dropped dangerously low. Nurses rushed in. The doctors moved fast. One prepared the defibrillator. Another shouted, "We're losing her." And through all of it, Rex howled. A deep, sorrowful sound that seemed to shake the walls. He jumped onto the bed despite the chaos, pressing his body against hers. The doctors tried to push him back, but then something happened that froze them all. The officer's hand, weak, trembling, moved. Slowly, painfully, her fingers curled around Rex's fur. The heart monitor beeped again. Her heartbeat climbed. She was holding on to him. She was choosing to live. No amount of medicine could explain it. No science could describe it. But everyone in that room knew the truth. Rex wasn't just a dog. He was her reason to keep fighting. Hours turned into dawn. The rain outside finally began to fade. Inside, her condition stabilized. She was still unconscious, but alive. And Rex never closed his eyes. He never rested. He sat there, watching her chest rise and fall, guarding her like a soldier standing watch. Finally, as the morning light poured through the hospital window, she opened her eyes. Weak, blurry, but alive. Her gaze shifted slowly, and there he was. Rex. His ears perked. His tail wagged once, then again. And with tears streaming down her cheeks, she whispered, barely audible, "You saved me." The doctors looked at each other. Some smiled. Some cried. All of them understood that they had just witnessed something beyond their profession. Days passed. She recovered, little by little. The bullets had done damage, but her spirit was stronger. And Rex, he never left her side. Not for food, not for water, not even for sleep. He stayed, a silent guardian, proving that loyalty is not just a word, it's a heartbeat shared between two souls. When she was finally discharged, the hospital staff gathered at the entrance. Cameras clicked, people clapped, but the real moment was quiet. As she walked, slow, weak, leaning on a cane, Rex trotted beside her, proud, protective, unshakable. And as the doors opened to the world outside, the sun broke through the clouds. Light poured over them, and in that moment, everyone watching knew. This was not the story of a police officer and her dog. This was the story of two warriors. Two hearts. Two lives, bound forever by love and sacrifice. And to this day, doctors still say, they had never seen anything like it. Because medicine saved her body. But Rex saved her soul.